Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fearless Floyd Show. As always, I am your host, Fearless Floyd. Today, we're going to talk about the definition of insanity. Yeah, insanity. The world, you would think it would be upside down if you didn't have normalcy in your own life, except when you have to interact with everything else in the world. It seems like people have just lost their freaking minds. And I say that for a reason, because I'm going to address two things going on in the United States Supreme Court within the last 72 hours that meet the definition of insanity. So we're going to break this down for you. We're going to look at it, and we're going to look at it from that perspective. And by no means are you getting legal, medical, or financial advice from me. This is for entertainment purposes only. And we're going to sit here for shits and giggles and talk about why these people are mentally ill and why they're doing the things that they're doing. Because society, when I was a child, going to elementary school and then to junior high school, we didn't have middle school back then. I know they do now. I don't ever remember having sex education. If you wanted to go see pornography, you went to the 7-Eleven and Stop and Go, and you got you a Hustler or a Chic or a Wee or Cherie or something a little bit more hardcore than Playboy. And if you didn't, you went and found somebody who could go in and get it for you. And when I was growing up, I lived in these apartments at 3807 Link Valley, fondly known as Death Valley, the first street in the city of Houston to ever be closed down for crime by the Houston Police Department. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been 3 total, and guess what? You guessed it. I've lived on all 3: Link Valley, Glenmont, and DeSoto. Yeah, y'all can look that up. I told you guys, I'm so unique in my life and the things that I've done, the stuff that I know, my own personal experiences, having litigated personally to the United States Supreme Court multiple times, probably over a dozen. I never counted, didn't have to count. My own stuff, you can go see me. I'm published. I'm in the fucking Supreme Court Digest, Supreme Court Reporter. Absolutely. For other people, I've litigated there. People have come to me and said, "Hey, Floyd, will you do my writ of certiorari or do somebody else's writ of certiorari to the United States Supreme Court?" Absolutely. Hey, look, folks, I don't make this shit up because I swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God. All right. And I mean that. So I know what it takes to wade through all these freaking courts, what it takes, how much effort you have to put in, how much time, energy, and money. Of course, for somebody litigating pro se or pro per who doesn't have the means to afford counsel, clown, to represent you because, and let me explain this to you folks, okay? Because somebody called me last night and they're going, "Hey, Floyd, did you know?" And yeah, absolutely. When you hire counsel, okay, and this goes for anybody and everybody in the United States of America, okay? Everybody, no exceptions, no fucking exceptions. That includes the President of the United States, Donald John Trump. When you hire an attorney to represent you in court, you're telling the court you're mentally incompetent to handle your legal affairs. You're mentally incompetent. You become a ward of the state or the political body. Go look it up. Law of the land, Supreme Court case law. I'm not making it up. Yes, absolutely. This is why, if you go back and watch my videos that I did on Trump's Fulton County RICO charges against him and Sidney Powell and all the others, and I mentioned Sidney Powell for a reason, because she was Trump's retained attorney. And she was the first one out of the whole charged plethora of defendants to cop out to a plea bargain, obviously prematurely. And they all lawyered up. Even the lawyers lawyered up and told everybody, hey, I'm mentally incompetent. And that's the first thing I brought out. It's like, hey, what are y'all doing? Why are y'all hiring an attorney? You're telling everybody you're mentally incompetent, but yet you're over here representing the presumptive president of the United States? Huh, all right. How stupid are y'all? But that's the real fucking deal. So let's get to the insanity of life. Every day I wake up to more insanity. So let me preface this before I go on. All right. I have gay friends. And listen, I grew up with, let me digress. Let me go back to high school. Let me go back to junior high school. Okay. So I'm in junior high school. There's a guy in a grade ahead of me named David Menchaca. David Menchaca was the fucking stud of the school. He was the running back. He was the badass. He was the black sheep of the family. Because everybody else had black froze, he had a red fro. And an attitude to go with it. So way back in the game, and y'all don't know this, but we're the fourth largest city in the country. And 5A was the top tier football in Houston, Texas. 5A. And my school was in 5A. When I was a junior, he was a senior. He was tied with the leading rusher who was over at Kashmir Rams, leading rusher for HISD. Had he not gotten drunk celebrating before the Kashmir game and left when we told him, do not drive. Whatever you do, don't drive. We're coming back. And he left, hit one of the side pylons that start on the freeway that go up over. Apparently jumped the curb, hit that head on, flipped the truck. Bubba was in the back. Bubba flew 150 feet out of the back of the truck. I swear this is a true story. Landed in the middle of the feeder. Okay. So me and Woody, who left, we're all partying out in the woods, big bonfire and shit. They're getting drunk. I'm drinking a beer. For some reason, I'm the straight guy, which was insane then. So anyway, we went back up to the school to look for some people, and we find his little brother, Jay, who's gay. He's the flamer of the school, okay? His brother's the stud. He's the flamer. We're still best friends. So I'm just telling the story. So me and Woody running his brother's like, David's been in a wreck right over there on the freeway. We're like, what? No way. We just left him like 15 minutes ago. Impossible. It's almost like they got in the car or the truck and followed us. It was that quick. We're like, no way. So we do about 199 miles an hour back out to the fire, drive up in the woods, and guess what? All we see is a bonfire and they're gone. We're like, oh my God, they did leave. So now we're way behind. So we haul ass 299 miles an hour. And we see the lights side of the freeway. You're like, holy shit, what the hell did they do? We come sliding up, man. We jump out. We were up there. The truck's flipped upside down, bent in half. The motor's hanging out. Only by the drive shaft is it still on the truck. We see an ambulance leaving. We're trying to find out what the fuck's going on. Where's everybody at? That was the last one that they took. That was Bubba. They were taking him to Ben Top. Miraculously, David had a broken jaw, broken ankle, and he was just busted up. Kelly was in the passenger seat. He just hit his knee on the dash, damaged his knee. Bubba in the back, who flew, 4 broken bones in one foot. That was it. Had these cats not been just plastered out of their mind drunk, it probably would have been a lot worse. Probably been 3 fatalities. So, which leads me back to what my premise is. His brother, Jay, flaming homosexual all through junior high, senior high school, had a crush on me, still has a crush on me. Okay. And we're good friends. We go out, hang out. I go see him. He does little local theater. So I don't have a problem with gays at all. If you want to be gay, go be gay. Go celebrate your life. Have fun. You're great to hang around with. But don't push shit on children. Get the fuck out of our elementary schools with that bullshit. It's unacceptable. It's immoral, unethical, and I could just go down a whole laundry list of shit of why I think it's wrong. There's absolutely no reason to be teaching pubescent children anything about sex or gender identity. They're boys and girls. Let them be boys and girls. When they grow up, they can be whatever they want. That's part of what growing up's all about. That's part of living the dream, right? Imagine damaging them at, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old, and then, they got another 60 years of being fucked up till somebody fixes them. If they get fixed. And then how many people are they going to mentor along the way and fuck them up? Because that's generally how it works. They call that breaking the cycle. So, what you got today, Floyd? For those of you watching, hang in there. So, I went to the United States Supreme Court and just looked at a couple things. And I'm not going to take a deep dive into them. I just want to cover them, go over them. So, here you go. Here's the website, blah, 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 blah. Orders for the court, term for the year 2024. You see this one miscellaneous order. All right. Miscellaneous orders. Well, this one just happens to be about immigration because it won't switch over tabs. I have to unselect it. Sorry about that. And here we go. If you didn't watch my breakdown on this, when I did this on the other night, this is the order. And let me break this down to you, okay? And why any court, especially a federal court, would have any problem with enforcing the laws on the books, because if I remember correctly, to become a governmental official on all levels, hi dog, told you I'm doing a show, okay? You have to take an oath of office to swear to uphold and defend the federal and or state constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Uh-oh. Okay. That's what I'm talking about, folks. No judge. No judge. And how this got to the United States Supreme Court on the ultimate fast track. And let me explain that, what's going on here. Because the AARP, that's very disingenuous because they're claiming, okay, AARP, you're thinking that's the Association for Advancement of Retired People? Oh, no. These are the initials of a gangster, a bona fide terrorist. And these et als right behind the AARP initials that do not stand for Association for the Advancement of Retired People. These are also terrorists. So the ACLU, on behalf of these terrorists, filed suit against the President of the United States and company. So they went into a U.S. District Court on Good Friday last week. All right. On the eve of the working day, and filed an application for a temporary restraining order. And they, the ACLU attorneys, told the court that they wanted an answer in 43 minutes. And if they didn't have an answer in 43 minutes, okay, and this is like so in violation of the federal rules of civil procedure, It's insane. That they were going to appeal it. So in 133 minutes, they filed their notice of appeal to the whatever circuit court, U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. So the U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals gets this notice of appeal. They're aware of it, but they haven't had time to act on it because why, Floyd? Oh, it's Easter fucking weekend, and they filed it at 5 o'clock on Good Friday. Oh, you think y'all are slick, huh? ACLU? You're not defending Americans, U.S. citizens and nationals. You're defending a bona fide terrorist, a gang member, with all the tats to go with it. Okay. All right. All right. So, so the Court of Appeals, obviously, they're sitting on it. They're not going to adjudicate on it. They're going to go do Easter, and then they're going to come get back on it Tuesday. Well, that just wasn't good enough for the ACLU because something might happen. Because something might happen that hasn't happened yet. We need this injunction to prevent something that might happen that hasn't happened. And we're going to go straight to the United States Supreme Court and totally bypass the U.S. Court of Appeals. And that's what they did. And then here we go Saturday, the court issued this order. There is before the court an application on behalf of the putative class, okay, of detainees. Now, let me explain to you what they're talking about there. All right. They're trying to say that all of these detainees, gang members, terrorists. What, Sasha? I'm doing a show. You can't sit here and bump my arm every 5 minutes. I'm doing a show. I'm sorry. So you're going to come up here and hug me? You want to give me a big fat kiss? Big fat kisses. Yeah. I know. I love you. I know, but you got to get in. Told you I'm doing a show. You know I'm doing a show. You see the lights, the curtain, all of that. So back to this. Putative class of detainees. All right. Basically, you've heard of class actions. Well, the reason they're in here is because of the All Writs Act. All right. And that's under Title 28 here, right here. That's the All Writs Act. That's what they're citing right there. Okay. This isn't a civil lawsuit. Under a civil lawsuit, you can file if there are 5 or more plaintiffs for class certification, and you have to get certified by the lower court, the U.S. District Court, not the United States Supreme Court, who obviously just certified him as a class for a non-civil suit. This is basically a habeas corpus suit. It falls all under the habeas statute, All Writs Act. Okay. These are the things that I'm pointing out to you that are unprecedented, which means in the 249-year history of the United States of America, in American jurisprudence, this has never happened. Ever. Ever. In 249 years. Everything that I'm pointing out has never happened in 249 years. This is the first time it's ever occurred. And what is it occurring for? Fucking terrorists. Designated, labeled, obviously certified by 2 courts, federal courts. And this is what we're doing. If this isn't the definition of insanity, I don't know what is, but we're going to dive into that. Sasha, please fucking stop. Okay? Thank you. She's sometimes she acts like a 3-year-old. She's smart. She knows what's going on. All right. So I I don't know how you're going to take a writ because it's going to turn into a writ's a habeas corpus for due process. How you're going to turn all the that would be like every state prisoner. Okay, it makes me stop sharing for this for a minute. All right. There's two statutes. Well, actually, there's more than that. But for simplicity's sake, layman's terms, let me break this down for you. All right. Title 28, United States Code, Section 2254 is the remedy for state convicted felons to petition the federal courts for relief under a writ or application for writ of habeas corpus. Habeas corpus means bring or present the body. Okay. Now, if you're in federal custody, Title 28, United States Code, Section 2255 gives you that authority for that remedy. So you always hear writ writers, jailhouse lawyers, 2254, 2255, and we know exactly what we're talking about. 1983, okay? These are writs. 2241, we know exactly what those are in my mind. We don't have to think about it, nothing. Automatic, okay? Basically, what the court has done, they've taken a category of litigants, okay? Now, these are all illegal aliens. They're going to be deported. They've been obviously identified, certified as gang members, terrorist gang members, Tren de Aragua, MS-13. Okay, so if every state, okay, felon, convicted felon in prison in every 50 states, okay, they all wanted relief. So they all filed a 2254 the same year. And when I'm not going to say all of them, let's just say 10% of them are at that ripeness in their post-conviction remedy process. Okay, so they would take for that Supreme Court term from October to May. Remember, talked about this on my last show. That they would take all those state and they put them in a class. They would certify those as a class, and then all the federal petitioners in the BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, that are going to file 2255s, or even those that are petitioning for a federal conviction and still in state custody doing stacked time, they would have to certify those as a class. Are you seeing the big picture of what I'm showing you, how unprecedented this is? That's your analogy. That's your comparison. That this is just, what the fuck are y'all doing? Where are y'all pulling this shit out of? Where's the precedent? There is none. You're just legislating from the fucking bench on the highest court of the land. No. That's not how this works. But apparently that's what's going on. So let me go back to this document. And I'm not even, how far along did I get in that order? When I already started pointing out unprecedentedness that you've never seen, never heard of, this country's never experienced. And obviously, there are no legal analysts on mainstream media breaking this down for you and explaining to you how insane this order is, how it even got to the United States Supreme Court and what they did to get it there, and why nobody's raising a fucking ruckus about it and holding these ACLU attorneys for trying to be real slick. Okay. And this is called disingenuousness towards the courts. I mean, what they did is violates all state bar ethics. I mean, it's just insanity. Okay. Insanity. What is going on? What's allowed to be happening, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody wants to break this shit down. So let me get back over here and get through it because, it was just a couple, even a paragraph. And it's so difficult to get through because I have to break it down, okay? Because it's a legal mumbo jumbo that you guys do not understand. That's why you have to hire a fucking clown because you're legally, mentally incompetent on purpose. They want you that way. They want you to cough up $250 an hour minimum. Just so you can know that that's unprecedented. That's never, ever, ever, ever happened in the 249-year history of the United States of America, ever. Okay? So, as you see, they're seeking injunction against their removal under the Alien Enemy Act. Well, they haven't even been removed yet. The matter is currently pending before the Fifth Circuit. That's in New Orleans, which is a conservative court. Upon action by the Fifth Circuit, the Solicitor General is invited to file a response to the application before this court as soon as possible. The government is directed not to remove any member of the putative class of detainees from the United States until further order of this court. Well, who exactly are the putative detainees? Does that include all the terrorists, the gang members, MS-13, Trinidad Argoa, anybody who's an illegal alien that's committed, felonies here, felonies in other countries? Explain who the putative class exactly is, Supreme Court. You just throw a blanket across the United States of America and go, okay, yeah, anybody who's a detainee, right? Because that's how they're defined. It's a detainee. Read the words. Words have meaning, folks. Especially when it comes to the United States Supreme Court, because they are very particular and very sparse in their articulation of the words that they put in their opinions. Even though they personally may not write these because they have a legal team that does it for them. Sometimes they will get multiples and just cull through it. Anyway, Justice Thomas and Justice Alito dissent from the court's order, the statement from Justice Alito to follow, in which Associate Justice Clarence Thomas concurred in whole. And I went through that and broke that down. So what you have are violation of court rules by the ACLU, by the United States Supreme Court. These 7 justices have violated their oath of office, their tenet with the United States citizens and nationals, with their own government, the judiciary. If you don't understand and comprehend what you're looking at, what just happened right under your nose, this is a coup, folks. This is subversion of the rule of law. I'm calling it. I'm saying it. It's why you watch me, because nobody else will do it. And that's sad. That's very sad. But it is what it is. So, next on the hit list, and I'm shocked that this is even a discussion. Okay. And this is the transcripts of the arguments before the United States Supreme Court that occurred this morning. And what they're talking about are books in school about gender identity and gender and, all this woke bullshit. You know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't have to get in here to the nitty gritty and explain to it, because I'm telling you, I haven't read every 196 pages, but I went through the very beginning, and this is basically where I stopped at 23. And it's a religious argument, and they're arguing that because the defendant has a Middle Eastern name, I'm going to assume that they are Islamic Muslim, and that their religion forbids this type of education, even though it's okay to marry a 12-year-old in Iraq. I don't make the laws. So, yeah, apparently, you get over here, all that changes. I guess they adopt more to a Western ideology in their religious beliefs with their Islamic mantra, I guess. But it goes in here, and they talk about coercion right here, a unique coercive environment, because this is being forced on the children. And should the parents even have a say so? Um, See, every school in the country allows opt out since sex ed has been introduced. And they're saying that no, no, you cannot opt out of this. It's mandatory. You got to go to this class, and you gotta learn that. And this is before the United States Supreme Court. I mean, this is how did this even get to this court? That's what I want to know. Who are the judges that kept just, letting this slide, 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 slide? How did this get out of the U.S. District Court? That's what I don't understand. This should not be an issue. Children of this country should not be exposed to gender identity, or, you know, uh, gender affirm. Man, I just can't even wrap my head around that shit. It just, it's abhorrent, and it's amazing that we're even having the conversation. Amazing. Let's go read Insanity. Did you read that? Severe mental illness or derangement, not used in psychiatric diagnosis. So, this little thing that we have going on called Trump derangement syndrome, where we've seen people literally just almost have a fucking nervous breakdown because they're sitting next to somebody wearing a MAGA hat. Or a month after social media post after social media post after social media posts arrests these deranged idiots are still keying Teslas when there's what, 9 cameras on a Tesla. They, if you don't know now that you're being recorded keying a Tesla, or defacing a Tesla, or damaging somebody else's property that does not belong to you, obviously you don't know the difference between right and wrong. But let's continue with number 2. Unsoundness of mind sufficient to render a person unfit to maintain a contractual or other legal relationship, or sufficient to warrant commitment to a mental health facility. Let's break that down. Unsoundness of mind sufficient to render a person unfit to maintain a contractual oath of office, oath of office, oath of office, oath of office. That's a contract. Uh oh. Or other legal relationship. Huh. We have 7 Supreme Court justices that are insane. So Let's just move on to number three. Number three, incapacity to form the criminal intent necessary for legal responsibility, as when a mental disorder prevents a person from knowing the difference between right and wrong. Let me read those real quick. Insanity, it's a noun, folks. And number one, it is a severe mental illness or derangement that is not used in psychiatric diagnosis. Number two, unsoundness of mind sufficient to render a person unfit to maintain a contractual, as in an oath of office or other legal relationship, or sufficient to warrant commitment to a mental health facility. Number three, incapacity to form the criminal intent necessary for legal responsibility, as when a mental disorder prevents a person from knowing the difference between right and wrong. I don't know. What do you think? Got some comments over here. I'm going to go check you out. This is a short show. This has just been on my mind all day long. As soon as I turn it on, I go, what the fuck is the Supreme Court got in front of them now? What? Don't we have more important things to do than allow this shit to clog up our fucking courts? It's not bad enough we got the ACLU fast tracking shit unprecedentedly, violating every rule in the book. All I can do is laugh, folks. I mean, it's just, I just can't wrap my mind around any of it. It just doesn't work for me. All right. Hey, Gizmo 2, how you doing? You're telling me that my like button is not working? Oh, really? No, YouTube would never do that to me. We're buds. We're not even, we're like that. They love me. What was the release they're cracking about? I don't know. Couldn't tell you. Kenya L. True. How you doing? Well, some who using the so-called leaders as pawns are motivated by power and control and don't mind hurting people to exercise their will on society. Oh yeah, well that's a given. And they're not even running things. They're the straw people. What else you got? Donald Trump, he puts special deposits in gold and takes the secured party position with a melanated man. He probably gets paid when he goes to court. Also does A for B. I wonder if that changes anything. Well, no. None of that's true. Sorry. If you're talking about the UCC one that was filed in New York on behalf of Donald Trump by this other guy, and I did videos on it. 100% bullshit. And Stain Your Concrete found this. Yeah, I covered that in the video. And then when you go look up those two numbers, you can go look in the Travis County clerk's office. And I've been in that building. They got a brand new building. I've been upstairs to the archives. Absolutely. I filed in the exact same court that litigation is pending in the 52nd. I've been there. I think I had 2 cases in there, and I got one reversed from the Third Court of Appeals. And I think that case got published. One of my publications. Yeah, I can give myself a pat on the back because you got to earn that shit. And when you're a jailhouse lawyer, a writ writer, those are stripes. Those are stars on your collar that you can go, ta-da, I'm published. Any of these other clowns in here want to rip your head off and lie to you? You got to have bona fides. You have to have real bona fides. You can't go in there talking about I had Cadillacs and 16 hoes and lived in a 32-room mansion and all that bullshit. And you fucking lived in a fucking cardboard box behind Safeway. Hey, Matt, how you doing? I got your messages earlier. I haven't opened them up and looked at them yet. Hadn't had time. I when you're just shaking your head and you're just like trying to wrap your mind around it, it just won't go. And it's not you that's stuck on stupid. The world, yeah, I don't know what happened. The beginning of transhumanism, yes. And I posted that in my Telegram room today regarding that. If you guys have not watched any of my videos on transhumanism, two technological terms are going to be in your vocabulary in the next decade. Obviously, we know what nanotechnology is, right? That's the molecular level. I have a hard time talking today. Yeah, molecular level. Nanotechnology. What's beneath nanotechnology, Floyd? Well, there's two other technologies that are hypothetical, futuristic technologies that do not exist except in science fiction novels, called pico technology, which is on the atomic level, and femto technology on the subatomic level. And I can call Donald Wilsh right now over in Florida, who has multiple patents from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office for what, Floyd? Femto technology. Huh? Wikipedia says it doesn't exist. Every white paper I can find says it doesn't exist. Every college, university professor doesn't exist. What the fuck? I don't know. You tell me. Keep telling y'all, I'm on the cutting edge. So, yeah. And then you got to go dig up the case in the United States Supreme Court about genetically modified organisms, how they are patentable and how they are made patentable. And that would be by what's called complementary or synthetic DNA. Well, I wonder if they have the technology to use nanobots that they can program to go into a structure, assimilate into a pre-programmed pattern to do specific things. They don't have nothing like that, do they? I don't think so. So they couldn't like carry in there some complementary DNA, and they could have a team that go in there and they could find your DNA and actually cut out a strand and put in, replace it with some complementary DNA. Nah, I don't have no technology like that, do they? That's just some futuristic, hypothetical technology that just doesn't exist. They changed the age to 9 years. Oh, yeah. Instead of sending pallets of $100 bills over there, maybe we should have sent corrals of goats. Do you think we'd have this problem? To send more goats. Gizmo 2, boy, you're the player here. I saw a video of a woman on a plane. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Why a woman I mean, yeah. That woman needs a 72-hour psychiatric hold. Okay? This is what needs to happen to these people. We have to, if they want to get in that category and put themselves in there, it's like, hey, I'm mentally ill because this is the way I believe. And if you don't believe my way, well, I'm going to change the law so you fit my way. Mm-hmm. That's what's going on. MAGA hat makes people go round and round. It's just a hat. Words. What MAGA means witch. Well, I guess she saw one. Okay. Hey, conspiracy. Wasn't this program show. It's just something that I wanted to bring to your attention and break down for you guys. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to re-edit that video. I went over 2 hours, and then I can't do short, so I'm trying to edit out. I was doing that last night, but my cache was too full of cookies, and my computer crashed, and I haven't had time to get to it today. But I'm going to cut out those segments where I break down the Alito descent for you guys. You can see that, word for word. It's only 2 pages, but of course, you saw what it took for me to get through a simple paragraph without going into, oh my God, it's never happened. There's a bunch of those. Floyd, do you want the truth? It is God bless Mr. Well, You know, it just is what it is. That's all I'm searching for is the truth, whatever that looks like. But I'm going to tell you, okay, the court system, and I don't care where you're at, what level, whether it's your local municipal court, justice of the peace court, district court, circuit court, federal court, they're all fucking corrupted. The whole system's corrupted. The whole judicial system's corrupted. It's got, we have to replace it with something. We have too many laws. It's impossible. There's no one person that knows the tax code. They've fucking monkeyed around with that thing. It's just like volumes of books. Okay. It's not like a little section of like 4 books. You know, if you go to Vernon's and you might look up property code and there'll be like 4 volumes of property code, you know, and you can get through that relatively in a short time. But tax code, who the fucking know all that? And they change it every year. So it's impossible for any one person to know all the laws. And they say ignorance of the laws, no excuse. Well, fuck, quit making them. Quit coming out with 200 every year or every term. So nobody can know all that. We know what right and wrong is, but when you start, splitting that up to where it's fragmented, nobody knows how to act. And then when y'all do this lunacy, y'all show this favoritism and give people shortcuts because that's what y'all want. It goes with your own personal agenda and it doesn't follow the law. So what happens when you act outside the law? You're an outlaw. So the judicial branch of the United States government is corrupt. At least 7 of the 9 justices on the United States Supreme Court have committed treason. They violated their oath of office. They've clearly done acts that are unprecedented in the history of the United States of America that has never, ever occurred in any American judicial court. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later. If you don't want to stick around for the promo, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. And guess what I got coming up, folks? Check this out. Here we go, folks. This is the Bridge Project. It's a 24-hour flash sale. Over 50% off select items. It begins tomorrow at 5 p.m. It will run until Friday, 5 p.m. It's a 24-hour flash sale. And LaFleur's Bridge washed out in a flash flood, I think about 10 days ago. And it's her own private bridge that she has to cross to get to the market. I've already sent her the funds. So what we're doing is replenishing those funds. And this is a fundraiser. It's for 24 hours. So basically all the classes, ebooks only. I'm not doing any soft cover books because the specialty trust books I do not have in my possession. I'm still waiting on the printer. So I'm not going to sell something I don't have that I can't provide, and I don't know how long it'll take me to provide. So ebooks, the on trust and the specialties are available, as well as the revocable, irrevocable foreign trust classes, the private membership association class, all about deeds class, and finally the mortgages and foreclosures class. All those are available, package deals. They're all 50% or more off, only for 24 hours starting tomorrow. at 5 p.m., 24 hours until Friday at 5 p.m. I will turn everything off. So if you want a deal, jump on board. If you know somebody that's been waiting to get a trust book or take a class, hit me up. If you're looking for something that I don't have in one of those packages and you want something a little bit different, hit me up. I'll work a deal with you. This is all about raising funds for Ann's Bridge, and giving y'all what I can. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I will do the outro now. I just want to give you an update on the bridge project. Oh, let me show you guys this. I don't know if y'all had a chance to. What's going on there? There we go. Whoops. This thumbnail you're getting ready to see. All right. Apparently, the gentleman's image that you just saw, his name is Govinda Tidball. And apparently, he had filed in the 52nd court in Austin. And, all the birth certificate bondage and all that. Everybody's free now and all debts and blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. Well, again, somebody else took a shortcut, a legal shortcut, and that's all hogwash. All the information, filing numbers that he provided for the Travis County District Clerk's Office don't exist. I was telling about that earlier. If you look on the Texas Secretary of State's office for those file numbers, they don't exist there either. So those numbers just flat do not exist. So as far as I'm concerned, all fiction. I've looked at his timeline of when he filed, how much, he gave. When you go to court, okay, you're playing by the court rules. Just like when you go to the park across the street from the rival school, okay, guess what? You're playing by their rules. Remember when you're playing pickup ball, whatever it was, football, basketball, okay? You play with the rules of the court where you're at. You don't play by the rules over here in your hood. That's just how it rolls. So court rules. So he went in there. He's like, okay, court, if you don't do this in this much time, then boom, default. That's not how courts work, bro. They have their own set of rules. They play by their own rules. Whatever the fuck you're doing outside those rules, if they want to hold you accountable, they hold you accountable. There's a statute on the books. Okay. They obviously have filing a fraudulent lien. Filing a fraudulent lien, which is so frowned upon in the state of Texas. They have it in 4 different statutes: the Penal Code, Texas Business Commerce Code, Civil Practices and Remedies Code, Texas Government Code. They don't like fraudulent liens in Texas. Okay. So basically, that's what he's doing. Then there's simulating a legal process, another criminal offense here in Texas. So it is what it is, folks. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you. I'll see you when I see you. We'll go catch this last comment. Gizmo, Twilight Zone. I get it. Yep. And conspiracy, a complete scam when it comes to justice. Yes, it's a criminal injustice system. Absolutely. And we're not in it. I guess we don't go in there and do that, that Mason pose, and, maybe we should wear a suit, put our hand inside our jacket and stand before the court and smile real big. Hey, Matt C, how you doing? All right. Y'all be sure, not for me, because obviously YouTube's going to take them off anyway. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. If you want to reach me, go to my website, go to the very bottom. You'll find my cell phone number. It works 9 to 9 Central Standard Time. Do not call me outside of those hours, please. And the Fearless Floyd Show at yahoo.com. FearlessFloydShow.com is my website. Tomorrow, the big sale, 24-hour flash sale, the bridge project. Come help out Ann and get her bridge replaced. Actually, it's going to be replaced anyway, but help out with the fundraiser and get a smoking deal, because next sale I will be doing will either be I'm moving to Puerto Rico and I need to downsize everything, or you're going to have to wait till Black Friday, Thanksgiving. Thank you for hanging around to watch this special promo on the new book by Ann LaFleur and Fearless Floyd, Specialty Trusts. We'll dive right in. There's the cover to the On Trust books. That's the first book that Ann wrote. This is the third edition on revocable, irrevocable, foreign, charitable, remainder, express, college education, and land trusts. It has instructions, templates, examples, everything you need in this trust or in this book to run these 7 different trusts. Everything you need. Here's the table of contents. And please disregard the error bookmark, not defined, notices on the right hand of the screen. There is a lot of redundancy in this book simply because the simplicity of how it was adopted from the classes. So you're going to see, a trustee appointment letter in every one of the trusts when you just really need one and just change the information. Here we go. This is a specialty trust cover. And here are all the trusts that are available in this book: How to Create and Operate Specialty Trust, full instructions, templates, and examples to create and operate. A Q-tip, a qualified terminal interest property trust, qualified personal residence trust, irrevocable life insurance trust, third-party special needs trust, community property trust, asset protection trust, discretionary trust, ministry trust, decedent trust, charitable trust, special needs trust, perpetual family trust, testamentary discretionary trust, grantor retained annuity trust, irrevocable farm trust, pets trust, AB trust, and marital trust, as well as the bonus DNA trust addendum. Here is the table of contents. And again, please disregard the error bookmark at not defined. And here we go with the DNA trust. Wanted to show you guys a little bit of this. That's the first 3 pages right there. This is the bonus. You can add this to any one of the trusts. Doesn't matter whether it's a revocable, irrevocable, foreign, express, pets trust, same thing. If you'd like to get one of the books or a combination or a package, the ebooks are available for $249 each, and that's either the On Trust or Specialty Trust books. If you'd like a soft cover, they are $259. I do have package deals available at thefearlessfloydshow.com/store on my website. If you'd like to do an a la carte package deal that I don't have available and you want to put something together, hit me up, thefearlessfloydshow@yahoo.com. I mainly hang out over on Telegram, so come hit me up over there. These 2 books are probably the only books you will ever need if you ever want to operate in trust, and everybody should at least research it and see if it's right for you and your family. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next show.